Hello team, today we're diving into the icy deep blue waters of our planet's oceans to meet a creature that might be small but is a true giant in importance. I'm talking about krill. Now what exactly is a krill? Imagine a tiny see-through shrimp no bigger than your little finger. Big black eyes that look like little beads, lots of feathery legs for swimming, a body that glows in the dark. This amazing feature is called bioluminescence. They can create their own light, flashing and sparkling in the dark depths of the ocean like a secret underwater fireworks display. It's a truly spectacular sight to behold. These tiny titans don't just live anywhere. They love the cold. You'll find most of them in the freezing waters around Antarctica, the Southern Ocean, icebergs, chilly currents. But for krill, it's the perfect home. They also live in other cold oceans, like the North Atlantic, the Pacific. They prefer these cold, nutrient-rich waters because that's where their favorite food grows. Tiny but tough. Survival experts of the cold. Their story is one we all need to hear. Now let's talk about why these little creatures are so incredibly important. Think of the ocean as a giant restaurant with a very long menu. Every animal has something it likes to eat, and it, in turn, might be eaten by something else. This is what we call a food chain. It's a flow of energy moving from one creature to another. Some animals are at the top, like the mighty orca, and some are at the bottom. The krill is not quite at the very bottom, but it's very close. It sits in the middle of everything, like the main course that almost everyone wants to order from the menu. Whales, seals, penguins, fish. Krill are what we call a keystone species. Imagine building an archway with stones. There's one special stone right at the top in the middle, the keystone. If you were to pull that single stone out, the entire arch would collapse. That's exactly what krill are to the ocean's food chain. They are the keystone. So many other animals depend on them for their survival. If krill disappeared, the system would be in big trouble, forming the link between the tiny and the massive. They are the heart of the ocean's food web, pumping life and energy to countless other species. So what does a tiny krill eat to become such an important meal? Their diet is actually very simple. Krill are mostly herbivores. They eat plants, but not land plants. They eat phytoplankton. Phytoplankton are microscopic single-celled organisms floating in water. You'd need a powerful microscope to see one. Phytoplankton use sunlight to make food through photosynthesis. Krill have a clever way of eating. Basket-like legs near their mouths, covered in fine hairs. They act like a net or sieve. As krill swim, they scoop up mouthfuls of water. The blue whale survives almost entirely on krill. One blue whale can eat up to 4 tons a day. That's the weight of an elephant. Humpback whales, fin whales, minke whales. They are baleen whales with plates that filter food. Seals like crab-eater seals. Leopard seals feast on krill. Penguins, Adelie penguins, chinstrap penguins, feeding chicks on krill. Many fish eat krill. Squid eat krill. The most popular dish in the coldest restaurant on Earth. 1 or 2 krill might not seem like much of a meal, especially for a giant blue whale. So, how do all these animals get enough to eat? The answer is simple. Krill don't travel alone. They gather together in mind-bogglingly huge groups called swarms. And when I say huge, I mean truly, unbelievably, colossally massive. A single swarm of Antarctic krill can be one of the biggest gatherings of animal life on the entire planet. These swarms can stretch for miles and miles and be so thick that they turn the ocean a reddish-pink color. They are so vast they can even be seen from space by satellites. Imagine a cloud of insects, but instead of insects, it's made of trillions and trillions of tiny glowing krill, all swimming together in the cold, dark water. A swarm can contain more individuals than there are humans on Earth. The total weight of a single swarm can be millions of tons. It's a moving, living island of krill. Swimming together in such massive numbers offers them some protection from predators. During the day, they often stay in deeper, darker water to avoid birds, to avoid other predators near the surface. Then, at night, they rise to the surface to feed. This daily journey up and down is called vertical migration, and it is one of the biggest movements of animal life on the planet, happening every single day. When you think about the scale of it, trillions of tiny animals moving as one, creating a living mass so big it can be seen from space. It's just breathtaking. Krill are full of surprises. We already know they can glow in the dark, which is amazing, but that's just the beginning. One of the most incredible facts about krill is their sheer numbers. Scientists estimate that the total weight, or biomass, of all the Antarctic krill in the Southern Ocean is somewhere around 500 million tons. To put that in perspective, that's more than double the total weight of all human beings on the planet. They are one of the most abundant and successful animal species on Earth, a true testament to the power of being small but numerous. Here's another cool secret. Krill are surprisingly long-lived for such small creatures. While many small crustaceans might only live for a few months, some species of krill can live for up to 10 years. To survive the long dark Antarctic winters when food is scarce, they have another trick up their sleeve. They can actually shrink their bodies to save energy, and then regrow when food becomes plentiful again in the spring. We talked about their glowing ability called bioluminescence. But why do they do it? Scientists have a few ideas. It might be a way for them to communicate with each other in the dark, helping them to stay together in their massive swarms. It could also be a form of camouflage. By lighting up their undersides, they can match the faint light coming from the surface, making them harder for predators looking up from below to see their silhouette. It's like having their very own invisibility cloak. And what about their name? They are also packed with healthy omega-3 fatty acids. From their ability to shrink to their glowing bodies, krill are proof that you don't have to be big to be one of the most fascinating and complex animals on the planet. We've seen how incredible krill are and how many animals depend on them. So let's ask a scary question. What would happen if the krill disappeared? A world without krill would be an oceanic catastrophe. It would be like pulling the plug on the entire Antarctic ecosystem. The first to suffer would be the animals that eat almost nothing else. Blue whale, fin whale, humpback whale. Their epic migrations to feed would be for nothing. Their primary food source gone. A silent, empty ocean for these giants. The disaster wouldn't stop with the whales. Think of the penguins. Adelie penguins, chinstrap penguins, macaroni penguins. They rely on a steady supply of krill to survive and to feed their chicks. Without krill, entire colonies could collapse. Crab-eater seals are krill specialists. Specially adapted sieve-like teeth filter krill. They'd be in immediate danger and their numbers would plummet. Leopard seal, orca. The ripple effect would spread through the whole food web. Fish that feed on krill would crash. Larger predatory fish, squid, seabirds. The keystone structure would crumble. This isn't just a scary story, it's real. Krill face climate change and ocean acidification. There's also growing krill fishing for human use. Omega-3 supplement products. Aquaculture feed production. If unmanaged, overfishing could push krill and the whole ecosystem to a breaking point. The story of krill is a powerful reminder that every single creature, no matter how small, has a vital role to play in the health of our planet. These tiny, glowing crustaceans are the beating heart of the Southern Ocean, and their fate is directly connected to the fate of the whales, seals, and penguins that we all admire. Protecting them is not just about saving one small animal, it's about protecting an entire world of incredible wildlife. The good news is that it's not too late. There are amazing people all over the world. Scientists, conservationists, and policymakers working hard to understand and protect krill. One of the most important things we can do is to tackle climate change. By reducing our carbon footprint and working towards a healthier planet, we can help slow the warming of the oceans and the melting of the polar ice caps. This helps protect the sea ice habitat that is so critical for the survival of krill, especially during the long winter months. A stable climate means a more stable home for phytoplankton, which means a more stable food source for krill, and in turn, a stable food source for everyone else up the food chain. It's all connected, from the air we breathe to the ice at the poles. We also need to be extremely careful about how we manage krill fisheries. It's vital that the number of krill being caught is kept at a safe and sustainable level. International agreements and marine protected areas are brilliant tools for this. Creating large protected sanctuaries in the ocean, like the one in the Ross Sea in Antarctica. Supporting these conservation efforts is something we can all do. Our mission is to be guardians of the ocean. By learning about creatures like krill, we can understand how delicate and interconnected life is. Every whale that breaches, every penguin that waddles, and every seal that basks on the ice owes its life to the humble krill. The adventure of conservation is one we are all a part of.